Mr. Korak with the demand that the school district's logo and the Clay County School District's name be removed from his website and other program material as co-sponsor of this event.
Is that a motion?
That's my motion. Yep.
Is there a second?
A second.
And then the reason that I am doing this is I want the record to reflect that if the superintendent or any board member choose to continue their involvement in this conference, that they are acting as individuals, private citizens, and not in an official capacity on behalf of the Clay County School Board, and as such assume any and all liability on their own behalf. That's not part of my motion, that's just my opinion.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. Let's have some discussion.
Mr. Fickner, if Mr. Van Zant does it, let's say he says Charlie Van Zant, Superintendent of Schools, or Miss McKinnon did, you know, John McKinnon, that's okay? Is that what you're saying?
For identification purposes,
if they're not
it is.
doing it as the school district.
Absolutely.
I think that you can always put your credentials in. If you're a speaker, you can always put your credentials in. It depends on how you're presenting it. If you're using it in such a way to give the impression that something is supported by the school district by using your credentials, by using your title, that's one thing. You know, it's like a lot of people have PhD or Esquire or whatever behind their name. I would be hesitant on my own part to go and participate in anything and say, School Board of Clay County Attorney Bruce Bickner, because that automatically implies that I am somehow associating the district with that. That's me. But if I put that as after my name is one of my credentials and one of my titles, then I think that's a different animal.
Like if you said School Board Attorney and not County?
I could do that, yeah.
Okay. I was just really sure.
Yeah, it's not real.
Okay.
Any other discussion? You want to discuss?
Before we leave the item, you can go through whatever you want. I do want to just address the conference, since my involvement in it has been such a time taker tonight. I was looking at my watch, we would have been gone at 8:20. Anyway, I do have just some core principles that I'd like to share with those of you who have taken your time to either stay up to almost 11 o'clock and watch or participate in the meeting here tonight. And upon taking office last November as superintendent of schools, one of the first things I did was send out a message the day before Thanksgiving talking about what a great nation America is and how we were founded. On Martin Luther King Day, I sent out another message highlighting that national holiday and again our place in history. On Memorial Day and 4th of July, I sent out messages. I don't believe I've missed a patriotic holiday or a chance to celebrate the greatness of our nation. At the administrators luncheon, which I hosted here on this campus back in July, Ms. Bush was nice enough to handle the decorations, and she said, well, we just thought, knowing you, you'd like red, white, and blue. And that was how the room was decorated. And this is a long established history I have. There's a flag in each of our 41 schools, an American flag, encased in wood and glass that were provided privately, not with any taxpayer money, with flags that I purchased myself and flew on combat missions over Iraq. When I was sworn in as superintendent, in my formal swearing-in ceremony, I chose the old courthouse in Clay County, where the former superintendent and former sheriff's office is, right in front of 900 Walnut Street. I held our reception that night in the oldest women's club in Florida, which happens to be right in Green Cove Springs, the VIA. I do believe America is the last, greatest, and best hope for our world. Amen. I actively look for items and times and places and groups to promote American history. Now, by the virtue that I was raised in this county, went through this school system, my children are in this school system, and I've served in some public capacity here for the last 15 years, I would suffice it to say that I support our public school system. I was in a couple of schools this morning, and I've been in every school multiple times in my short tenure as superintendent, and I do support our public schools. However, I do also believe that we are in a competition as a public school system. So I look for opportunities to get in a room with people that have differing opinions, people that promote charter schools, private schools, home schools. There's some homeschool folks here tonight. We agree on some things, we don't agree on others. But I don't think it's wrong to get in a room with people that choose to educate their children differently than I choose to educate my children, and that we collectively choose to spend our 5,000 people's time every day that work for the district educating the 35,000 plus students we have. I think that we need to share those ideas. One of my personal interests in all these things is to find out what other people are doing and why our school district has gone down in enrollment 1,000 students over the last couple of years. Our county enrollment did come up a little bit this year by active and aggressive marketing. We have homeschool students that now are in Clay Virtual Academy. We have some private school students that are now in Clay County Public Schools. So I think all of this has value. My behavior pattern, some of the time I've spent, somebody asked for my calendar from last January to October. And on there you'll find meetings with Rotary groups, civic associations, VFWs, American Legions. I think I've met with everybody that sponsors a museum and everybody that has a historical society or heritage commission behind their name in Clay County. I think we should always take opportunities to highlight our own national history, state history, and local history. And for the board members, you can rest assured that if by starting these conversations we actually change some